YouTube, what's going on? It's your boy Noel Blends. We are back at it again with another haircut tutorial. We are going to be doing like a mid-low taper on my boy. I call it what you want. It could be a mid or low. I think it came out super dope, so I'm going to show you guys step by step what I do to achieve this type of look. Other than that, it's your boy Noel Blends, and I hope you guys like the video. Let's get into it. So the first thing you want to do is start off by damping up his hair, getting it wet. That way getting it ready so we can maneuver it pretty easily with the comb. So what you want to do is just go straight back, pull up a little bit of hair. We're going to cut off about half an inch all the way throughout, and we're going to end up cross-checking, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do it. As you guys can see, I'm going straight back. We're just cutting about half an inch, and we're just going to go follow the same guideline throughout. And around his parietal ridge, we are going to start to round it off. That way it don't look too super boxy. As you guys can see, I'm going straight at an angle. I'm pulling out and then going straight up, giving it more of a rounder look. If you want it boxy, of course you go straight across, but in this case we are going to give him more of a rounder look. As you guys can see right there, I'm just pulling out and cutting off a lot of bulk on his parietal ridge. Make sure when cutting the top of his hair, you do keep his hair nice and damp. That way the hair maneuvers a lot easier and you can grab it a lot cleaner, precise cuts. As you guys can see in the back, we are doing the same thing, taking the same guideline, just going all the way throughout the back. My client's hair does grow kind of weird in the back. It's the type where, like, if you comb it down, it might look normal, but you pick it up, and then it's gonna have a lot more extra longer hairs. As you guys can see right here, I am cross-checking. You just want to go on instead of going towards the back, you're gonna go on the sides, get every little hair that you see, and that's how you cross-check and make sure everything's the same length. By this time, if you guys been watching me, you guys know that I love to blow dry my hair, or my client's hair. That way we can get the shape going. I do like to create shape before. For all my non-subscribers that are barely coming in, I do like to give my client's hair shape first before I do any type of fading. The reason behind that is because I like to see where I'm gonna add my blend at and contour it towards his head shape. So the first thing you want to do when starting this blend is go in with your number 2 guard, lever fully open, and we're just going to clean up the bulk. That way we have a nice foundation on where we're going to set our blend at. You don't want to dig into his hair, you just want to go straight up. That way right here we're going to come in with our clipper of a comb and just connect everything to the top. Just make sure you pull out when doing this right here. Do not dig into it as well, because you will create a big chunk and cut off way too much hair, and then you're not gonna have the right head shape, or basically the right shape you're going for. You want to create more like of a rounder look, so do not dig into it. So the first thing you want to do is start off by creating your first initial bald guideline. Those are my babyless trimmers. They are zero gap, if you guys are wondering. Everything I use is really zero gap unless it's on little kids. But other than that, everything's zero gap. I do just go straight across, right underneath the top of his ear. I am keeping it a little bit lower than usual for a mid taper, just so I won't push it up. So if you guys ever want to keep it more compressed, make sure you just go a little bit lower. As you guys can see, we did start off with using our bald shavers as well, and now we're going in with our half guard, lever fully closed, and create our first initial guideline, about half an inch. That way we don't do crazy stretch blend. I like to keep them nice and compressed. Right here you go to your Oster fast feeds, and you're going to start off with the lever fully closed and just play with it until it comes out. This shouldn't take long, or it shouldn't be super hard. As long as you have everything zero gap, then normal, you should be straight. But as you guys can see right here, right after we blend that line out, we do come in with our 1.5 guard, lever fully closed, create about another 1/2 inch guideline. Next, what you want to do is grab your 1 guard, lever fully open, and we're going to put it right exactly what we did with the 1.5 guard. The same motion, and then we're going to close it halfway. As you guys can see, I closed it halfway and go basically the same thing. Remember, when you guys are doing this to keep the blade flat, that's the whole point. You're sanding down the hair to make it look really smooth. Right here, you guys can tell I closed it. We're just attacking the middle ghost line. Next, what you want to do is grab your half guard, lever fully closed, and right here you want to give it more of a flick and just attack the little dark spots. Utilize your corners, that way you don't push up your blend. As you guys can tell, I don't have to really do much, it just blends out on its own. Right here we're just we're doing detail work, and we're just gonna detail all the little dark spots I see. I started off with my 1.5 guard to detail, and then with my 1 guard. So right here, what we're doing now, we are going to spray his line up with a little bit of hairspray just to lock in the hairs. We are going to start to do his edge up. Just start in the middle and go work your way to the right. That's what I like to do. These trimmers are 0 gapped, so they are super sharp. I couldn't use these on like a little kid because it probably would irritate them. So just be really light-handed with your trimmers when they're 0 gap. You can irritate your client pretty easily. We are adding some enhancement. It is half Kiss Express and half alcohol. Just go half and half and mix it in and you'll be straight. It doesn't have to be super spot on. Just make sure it's at the right density you want for your air compressor to blow out. This is the white barber pencil. I do like to add a little bit, that way we can get a nice extra pop for like the gram and all that. This is what you need to be doing to get that extra crispy look. So when blending in the white chalk, you do want to use your trimmers, your 0 gap trimmers, and blend it in as best as you can. But then I do come in with a small brush and just blend in the rest of it, that way it don't pop out too crazy. So for the back, you do want to start off with your number 2 guard, lever fully open, and just go straight up with it. Use your comb to feed in the hair, that way you don't take off too much and make sure the hair is not nice and down. So just go ahead and use your comb to feed your clipper some hair and go straight up with it. Pull it out towards the top. Next, what you want to do is grab your clipper over comb and go and connect the top to the bottom. That way you give it some nice head shape and know where exactly you're going to put your blend at. It doesn't have to be super perfect right now. We're just creating some head shape. I will come back later and clean it up some more. Right here I am using my thinning shears, that way you can blend it in a little bit better. Because remember when I told y'all that the hair does like to lay on top of each other in little areas? With this, you are picking up the hair, so you're trying to get every little hair underneath and just make sure everything's blended nice and clean. That way it don't look super lumpy. So first, what you want to do is start off by going with your 0 gap trimmers and creating our first initial bald guideline. We are going to curve it up a little bit on his edges, nothing too crazy, not too exaggerated. As you guys can see on his edges, I do curve it up a little bit. Nothing wow, nothing out of this world, just a little bit. That way we can get a nice blend going on the sides as well. You don't want it to look like it's real dark right on his edges. To me, I do not like doing that to my clients. Unless my client specifically tells me to do that, I will do that, of course. I'll round it out, but other than that, I just go straight across or bring it up a little bit. Next, what you want to do is grab your shavers and just take it out. Make sure everything's down to the skin. These are my the shavers. Everything I do use will be listed down below for you guys. That way you guys can check it out and purchase something that you guys really want in this video. Everything will be listed down below. Now, what you want to do with your your half guard, you want to create about an inch guideline and just go throughout his head. Do not, as you guys can see towards the edges, I am picking it up at an angle. That way it blends in and has a nice contour fade on the sides and does not look super heavy on the sides. So just make sure you guys follow the same guidelines throughout, and you will have a neat clean fade if you guys have even guidelines, neat guidelines. Every time, I guarantee you about 90% of the time you're gonna have a clean fade every time you have your guidelines real neat. Now what you want to do is grab your, well, for me I got my Oster fast feeds, but you can grab any type of clipper and go with your no guard and just take out that bottom line. Just with the Oster fast feeds, I've noticed that I only have to open it a little bit because they do open a lot more than like the walls and all that in the baby list. So I like using these Oster's fast feeds because they do make a sound whenever, kind of like the Masters. It's not as loud as the Masters, but it does make a sound whenever you're cutting the hair. So, and it gives you more room for air with these because since it's the rotary motor and the ceramic blade, it does cut a lot slower. So you can go up a little bit higher than usual, and it's not going to create a crazy mark in the fade. So right here, what you want to do is just grab your zero gap trimmers and take off any little stubbles that your clipper didn't get. Next, what you want to do is grab your 1.5 guard lever fully closed and create about an inch guideline. You do want to keep it nice and even consistent the same way as your bottom guidelines that you did. As you guys can see, I'm going up towards the sides, that way we get a nice clean blend around there. Next, what you want to do is grab your 1 guard lever fully open and put it right where you put the 1.5 guard lever fully closed, but you're just going to keep the 1 guard lever open and just keep the blade flat and go all the way to the top. As you guys can see right here, I do close it halfway, and we are going to go almost all the way to the top again and keep that blade flat and just go all throughout the back of his head. As you guys can see, I am keeping the blade flat. I can't stress that enough. Please keep it flat. It will make your blends a lot more smoother. Right here, you do want to close it, fully close, and go right in the middle ghost line. Keep in mind, this is not going to take out the guideline completely, or the ghost line. It is just going to soften it pretty down. In some cases it might come out, but the majority of the time it's not going to. What you want to do right after you finish that, you do want to come in with your half guard lever fully closed, and you do want to give this step right here more of a flick right on the dark little areas on the little ghost line that your 1 guard left. You do want to clean it up with this. You're basically just polishing the fade now, that way it can come out super buttery, and once you see it come out, just leave it alone. Do not mess with it. As you can see, I am utilizing my corners a lot, that way we can just go right on it and get into tighter areas and just flick right on it. As you guys can see, it's just coming out like butter. You don't have to do a lot of crazy work in this step. It will come out pretty easily. Right here, what I'm doing, I am going in and just doing detail work, that way I can get everything how I want it exactly. Just make sure I got every little dark spot I missed. I still got to connect the top to the bottom, but we'll be doing it after this. I couldn't go on without having the bottom of my blend super buttery. Right here, we're going in with our number 2 guard lever fully open, and we're just going to go straight up and connect the top to the bottom. Do not be afraid, just go straight up. Do not dig in, or else you will create a big chunk and it's just going to look inconsistent. When doing these steps, make sure you do dust off your clients, that way you don't mistake his falling off hair for any little dark spots. Just make sure you be dusting and brushing off his fading area. So next, what you want to do is grab your 1.5 guard lever fully open and go right underneath that and just connect any little dark spot you see. That way it looks nice and consistent. So right here, what I'm doing, I did say I was going to come back and clip over comb some more. It's just detail work, making sure everything's how I want it. Any little dark spot you see or more heavier hair, just go right on it and you can blend right into it. Try to create some overall better shape. Just make sure you pull out the comb towards you when doing these steps. That way you don't create a big chunk in his hair. So right here with my thinning shears, we are going straight up and just doing some more gradual blending. That way it looks more consistent around his around that bulk area. As you guys can see, I am brushing down every time I do use my thinning shears. That way we see the hair laid nice and how it's supposed to. So just in case you guys forgot how my client came in, this was the before. This is how he sat in my chair, and this is what I came up with. I think it came out super dope, super clean, nice mid lowish taper. Came out dope, super clean, super simple and effective. If you guys like this haircut, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. That way you guys get alerted every time I drop a new video. DM me, follow me on Instagram at NoelBlend, on my TikTok. Hit me with questions. I'm more than happy to answer them for you guys. Other than that, it's your boy Noel Blends. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.